Hi y'all, welcome to Wild and Wonderful West Virginia. My name is Brad Harvey. This is my wife Lindsay. We are 25 years old.
We are the youth pastors at Kings River Worship Center, and in the evenings I am a Zumba fitness instructor.
We actually just recently moved from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to West Virginia. Been renting and had an apartment in Pittsburgh. Then we decided to go get our first home once we moved here because the transition just seemed sort of easy. And the process has been fun, it's been exciting, but it's been stressful, just not knowing all the information, not knowing what to say or do. What's the bank going to tell us? What can we afford? You know, what can we compare it to what our parents have had? What can we do, you know?
Yeah. My wish list of my perfect home would be something in town that we could just walk out the door and be able to walk or bike or something like that, and not have to take our bikes or drive somewhere to exercise or be outdoors. And like we said, we are youth pastors, so a big must for us is to have room to have our kids over.
I think one of the biggest reasons we're buying now is, and when we lived in Pittsburgh for that while, we had our own apartment, but it just never really felt like we were settled down, never felt like home for us. Kind of moving to that next stage of our lives after marriage, which comes children or a puppy, whatever's first, and we just couldn't do that in Pittsburgh, you know. It's not our puppy, it's your sister's puppy, but we wanted to have the opportunity to settle down a good bit because we didn't have that in Pittsburgh, and we didn't have, you know, we just didn't feel that settledness because you're just paying the money, writing the check to a company, and not necessarily to something that you're investing in. I think some of the quirky things that we want in this house process may seem strange to other people because they're quirky for us.
Yeah, and we recently got bikes, and we've been loving riding on our bikes and stuff like that, and I just got a little basket to put on the front of my bike. And
just like out of ET or something, you know?
All I want to do is ride to the grocery store on my bike and get some milk
and cosmic
and
brownies
bread and brownies or something.
Absolutely.
And put it in my bike and be able to ride home. I love the thought of that. Okay. There have been some tough times during this journey of the last few months, mainly because things have been crazy since we got here. We've been trying to get to know a lot of the new kids in our youth group. We took them, like I said, to camp. Then we went to El Salvador for our mission trips for 2 weeks. So during that time, I found this adorable yellow house that looked like it was out of a storybook that I loved.
It was really cute.
It was cute. That I loved. So during one of our trips, after we left, we talked about it on the trip, and I was like, hey, I really like this house. I really want to make an offer on this house. So we came back. The evening that we got back, we called our realtor, and she, as soon as we got on the phone, she says, I have some really bad news. While you guys were gone, the yellow house went under contract, so it doesn't look like that's going to work out, and I was really sad.
Yeah, it was, well, as far as our budget and where we were, we went to the bank, kind of chewing on our fingernails, just because we didn't know a lot of the process and not knowing what could happen, and they approved us for like 165-ish. And so we about fell out of our chairs when we heard that number. We're like, yes! But then after they had told us kind of like, that's without getting groceries or having other things. So we shot for like the 125, 130 as our max.
Yeah, we saved our income tax return, and we also, for the first year of our marriage, didn't have cable or internet for 2 reasons: for us to kind of get to know each other better, and also to put that money towards saving for a house in the future. So.
Yeah, as far as our living situation now, once we moved from Pittsburgh to here, we were sort of in this like time lapse of a situation, because we could have gotten an apartment and rented for a year or so and tried to save money before, like we had been doing, and then buy a house in a year or so, or we could move in with somebody and really save money and purchase a house within just a few months. So we took the second option of moving in with somebody. We got to live with her parents. Her parents opened their home. They gave us an upstairs room. They gave us our own bathroom. And so the situation, honestly, you're like living with your in-laws. Some people would be like, but it actually has been really great. We've been here about 3 months, and it's just been really some downsides to it, which
what are the downsides?
Which are like not having our own space,
Yeah, all of our stuff is currently in storage right now, so we go to look for something every day, and it's like, oh,
it's in storage. But honestly, it has been ideal, and the negatives do not outweigh the positives by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, we've been able to save lots of money and things like that, but we are certainly ready to have our own.
Yes. Yeah. So I think the greatest reason that we want to be on House Hunters is sometimes you see these emotional people and they're like crying or begging probably, and we want to have one of those moments. No, not really.
People who are usually on national television from West Virginia are like...
We get a bad rep, West Virginians. We seem to find the one person with one tooth, who's got 2 different color eyes, whose eyebrows have become like some kind of animal has gone across.
Yeah.
Who's got a hair right here. Like, West Virginians just kind of get a bad rap, you know?
Yeah, so we just want to show everyone, House Hunters, everyone who watches the show, how great of a place West Virginia is, and what a great community this is to live in, and how much we love it, because so many people, you know, come to West Virginia or hear about West Virginia, and they're like, oh, you live in West Virginia?
Who's your cousin's husband? You know, those kind of things.
Or, oh, Virginia. And we're like,
no,
actually, West Virginia is a state, contrary to what some people believe. So anyway, we just think it would be great. Plus, we've seen that you don't have very many people from West Virginia on your show, so we just think it would be a great opportunity for us
to represent some small town USA.
Yeah. Okay, we are in the living area of my parents' home in the downstairs. I love this room. This is where we all hang out. This is where we really eat dinner. This is where most of life happens for us. It does have hardwood floors, which is another thing that we were looking for that I love. But again, this is my parents' home, so we very well can't just come here and just take over. But anyway, this is also Josie. Come here, Josie. This is my sister's dog, but we are going to be taking her with us. This is also an open floor plan, which is really nice because you can be in here cooking and still hanging out with everyone at the same time. I always sit here while my mom's cooking stuff, and that way I can learn from her and things like that. Also, like I was saying, one of the reasons why Brad isn't in any particular hurry of moving out, because my mom's always baking something, you know, some sort of chocolate something cooking now. The refrigerator is covered with pictures from us. There we are. Right there, you can tell that they don't mind having us around. They would probably stay here forever, but of course we have our own space.
We've had to rearrange the furniture. We've had to kind of compress things so that we can all fit in here. We've had to put some of the stuff here in the corner with some storage. We have our sheets and blankets and computer cases and guitar cases and the keyboard, and you know, there's some different things over here that we've had to store. Inside this closet you would think we could hang our clothes, but this is actually where all the movies and stuff are. We're still rocking with some VHS, The Sound of Music. What a quality old movie that everyone has seen and enjoyed. The hills are alive. Okay, so, and then over here we have the exercise elliptical piece, which is out of use right now because of having to form in one place. We have our athletic clothes kind of stacked up over here because of, you know, the compactness and having to transform all of our stuff, which is closet space, into drawer space. Now we have to find places for things. So we are compact in here, but this transformed room has worked, not just as a game room, but now it's our sleeping room. Again, this is Brad and Lindsay and Josie. We are very grateful that you've considered us for House Hunters. We are very excited about this opportunity, and we hope that we can be considered further.
Yes, we can't wait to show you West Virginia and everything it has to offer. And yeah, we would love to be on the show.